Hello, Dr. Andy here. This short video is going to give you an overview of the DARL language and how to write simple rule sets in DARL. DARL has got C-like syntax, but it's very different in the way that it functions. It's a rule language, and so it has no sense of sequence. It's not a Turing complete language. It's intended to enable you to construct rule sets that are effectively bits of knowledge that are evaluated all at once. A rule set file can contain multiple rule sets. We generally call rule set files maps, and contain multiple rule sets. And this, what we got on the screen right now, is a single example showing the UK tax and NI rule set. So to start a rule set, you just simply come up with the declarative word rule set to say that you're beginning one, give it a name. This can be any C-type legal name. Open a curly brace, and then right at the end close the curly brace. Inside the curly brace you can have constituents which can be in any order. Now I order them naturally because it makes reading a rule set simpler, but in fact there's no sense of order to a DARL rule set, and so you can have them, you can declare an input wherever you like, an output wherever you like, a constant wherever you like, and the rules themselves. But the pattern that I've stuck to is to declare inputs first, outputs next, constants where used, which they aren't always, and then the rule sets, the actual rules themselves. Every line is terminated with a semicolon, which is very much like C. And as you can see with this interactive editor, the keywords are highlighted in blue. Comments here in red. Commenting is done very much the same way as C, so you can either have the double slash there, or for instance, the other mechanism, slash star followed by star slash. So inputs and outputs. Inputs can be and outputs can be numeric, categorical, or textual. Constants can be numeric. These are numeric constants here, or strings. And rules themselves follow some really simple patterns. So writing DARL is intended to be very simple. As you can see, there's some editing involved, and there is a syntax, and you have to keep to it, although it's a guided editor and it tells you. But the principle is very simple for writing DARL rules. If we take a look at a rule, for instance, one of the simple ones down here, everything falls into the same pattern of if, introducing a rule, and here we've got some kind of logical tests or set of logical tests, followed by the name of the output that we're trying to affect. And then after there will be what it is that we're going to do to that output. So outputs are defined as we saw up here, but they could be defined anywhere. And we define the kind of the type of the output. And these are the minimum things that you need: the output definition, its type, and its name. Names in DARL in general follow standard C naming conventions, which means you can't start with a number. Any combination of letters and numbers is permitted with underscores. So exactly the same as almost all programming languages. You can define extra things to do with inputs and outputs. So for instance, this is saying this is a numeric input and defining two fuzzy sets on it. So to go back to this rule again down here. If earned income is smaller than or greater than employer's NI threshold, then yearly the employer's NI will be 0. Our testable entity is, we're looking at an input value here, earned income. And we're comparing it to employer's NI threshold, which is a constant. So when you look at larger examples of this testable expression, you can see that we can have ands and ors, and we can put together is expressions in almost any order. So we can associate is expressions using ands and ors. We can bracket expressions so as to make the order of execution or the clear. But either side of an is expression is always an input or output on this side, and then some testable expression which is appropriate for the type of the input or output. So age years is a numeric input, so we can do things like test whether it's smaller than age 65, which is a constant, or greater than or equal here. But also here we've got blind, which is a categorical input. We can test whether it's false or true. See, a categorical input with 2 states defined, 2 states that the input can take up. And then on the other side of the expression, so we've got testable stuff on the left of the expression. On the other side of the then, we've got the right-hand side of the then, we've got a definition of the output again. And since total allowances is a numeric output, we can actually set a numeric expression here. So quite a long expression, but basically the maximum of the terms inside the round brackets. The complete list of operators that are available is in the documentation. There's a wide range of numeric operators, a limited set of logical operators, of course, because there are only so many of them exist. And there you go. That's the overview of DARL. Thank you.